Hey everybody, I'm Your Name, and welcome to the show. Today we're diving into a world where the bizarre meets the bank account, where the strange and unusual find their way into the hands of the highest bidder. Have you ever, looked at something totally normal and thought, man, I bet someone somewhere would pay a ridiculous amount of money for that? Well, you're not alone. There are people out there who see value in the most unexpected places. Imagine looking at an old rusty nail and thinking, this could be worth a fortune. Well, get this, there are people out there spending millions on stuff that would make your grandma say, what in the world? From the utterly mundane to the downright bizarre, the auction world has seen it all. I'm talking about the weirdest, most unbelievable auction items ever sold. Things that defy logic and make you question reality. We're talking about things that would make a cardboard cutout of Nicolas Cage blush. Imagine owning something so strange, even a Hollywood star would be embarrassed. Would you believe that someone paid millions for these weird objects? It's true. People have shelled out serious cash for items that seem like they belong in a sci-fi movie. I mean, we're talking serious dough for stuff that belongs more in a museum of the strange than someone's living room. Imagine having a conversation piece that costs more than your car. But hey, who am I to judge? Maybe these collectors see something we don't. Maybe there's a hidden value or a story that makes these items priceless to them. Maybe they've got a spare wing in their mansion dedicated to Elvis's toenail clippings or something, or perhaps a room filled with celebrity hair locks. The possibilities are endless. Stay tuned to find out the most bizarre items ever sold at auction. You won't believe some of the things people have actually paid for. We're going down the rabbit hole of weirdness, folks, and trust me, you don't want to miss this. Get ready to be amazed, amused, and maybe a little bit bewildered by the auction house of weird. All right, let's kick things off with a little something from the king himself, Elvis Presley, the man, the legend, the icon who revolutionized music and pop culture. Now, we've all heard about Elvis memorabilia going for big bucks, but this is next level. From his iconic jumpsuits to his classic cars, fans will pay a fortune for a piece of history. We're talking about a lock of his hair. Yes, you heard that right, hair. A small, seemingly insignificant piece of the king himself. Now, I'm not talking about a full-on wig or anything, just a single lock, probably snipped off during one of his many visits to the barber. This was a single lock, probably found on a barber shop floor somewhere. Imagine the stories that little lock could tell. But get this, someone coughed up over $700,000 for it. That's right, a whopping 700 grand. That's more than most houses cost. You could buy a mansion for that kind of money. I mean, what do you even do with a lock of Elvis's hair? Do you frame it, put it on display in your living room, make it into a tiny Elvis wig for your hamster? The possibilities are endless, but also a bit puzzling. I have so many questions, like who even thought to save this lock of hair in the first place? But hey, if you've got that kind of cash lying around, who am I to judge? Maybe it's a great investment for some die-hard fan. Maybe it comes with a lifetime supply of hair gel. After all, Elvis was known for his perfectly styled hair. In the end, it's just another testament to the enduring legacy of the king of rock and roll. Okay, buckle up, because this one's a little delicate. We're talking about Napoleon Bonaparte, the French military leader, who was kind of a big deal back in the day. But we're not talking about his hat or his sword. Nope, we're talking about something a little more, shall we say, personal. We're talking about Napoleon's hempenis. Apparently when he died, a doctor removed it, and it's been passed around like a hot potato ever since. Finally, it ended up in the hands of a urologist in New Jersey, because of course it did. This urologist decided to auction it off, and you won't believe how much it went for. $3,000. That's right, $3 grand for a piece of history that frankly should have stayed buried. Let's move on to something a little less anatomical. This time we're talking about Marilyn Monroe, the iconic blonde bombshell. Specifically, we're talking about that white dress she wore in The 7-Year Itch. You know, the one that got blown up by the subway grate? That dress, my friends, is the epitome of Hollywood glamour. It's been copied, parodied, and worshipped for decades. So it's no surprise that when it went up for auction, it fetched a hefty price tag. We're talking $4.6 million. That's right, someone paid almost $5 million for a dress that's basically just asking for a wardrobe malfunction. But hey, can you put a price on iconic? I guess not. Chapter 4, a bite of royal history. All right, let's talk about weddings for a second. Specifically, the wedding of Prince Charles and Princess Diana. It was a fairy tale event watched by millions around the world. And what's a fairy tale wedding without a cake? But this wasn't just any cake. This was a multi-tiered fruitcake monstrosity fit for a king and queen. And guess what? Someone actually bought a slice of it at auction. Now, this wasn't a fresh slice or anything. This cake was baked back in 1981, but that didn't stop someone from shelling out over $2,500 for a bite of royal history. I just hope they had some milk on hand. Chapter 5. Mirror, mirror on the auction block. Okay, this next one's for all you ghost hunters out there. We're talking about a haunted mirror. Yes, you heard that right, a mirror possessed by some kind of supernatural entity. Now, I'm not sure about you, but I wouldn't want a haunted mirror anywhere near my house, but apparently some people are into that kind of thing because this mirror sold at auction for a cool $1,700. The seller claimed that the mirror was home to a mischievous spirit that liked to move objects around and whisper to people in their sleep. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a recipe for nightmares to me. Chapter 6, Jurassic Barking Mad. All right, let's move on to something a little less spooky and a lot bigger. We're talking about a dinosaur skeleton. And not just any dinosaur, we're talking about a Tyrannosaurus Rex, the king of the dinosaurs. This particular T-Rex, nicknamed Sue, is one of the most complete and best preserved T-Rex skeletons ever found. So, it's no surprise that when she went up for auction, she attracted a lot of attention. In the end, Sue was sold to the Field Museum of Natural History in Chicago for a whopping $8.36 million. That's right, over $8 million for a pile of bones. But hey, they don't make dinosaurs like they used to. Chapter 7. One small step for man, one giant leap for auctioneers. From dinosaurs to space, this next item is truly out of this world. Imagine the journey from ancient bones to the final frontier. It's a leap that boggles the mind. We're talking about a spacesuit worn by an actual astronaut. This isn't just any piece of clothing, it's a symbol of human achievement and exploration. And not just any astronaut, we're talking about Neil Armstrong, the first man to walk on the moon. His name is synonymous with space exploration and human courage. Okay, so it wasn't the suit he wore on the moon, but it was the suit he wore during training for the Apollo 11 mission. This suit saw the rigorous preparation that made the moon landing possible. Still, that's pretty darn cool. Imagine the stories this suit could tell, the history it has witnessed. And someone thought so too, because they paid $9.6 million for it at auction. That's a hefty price, but for a piece of history, it's priceless. I mean, can you imagine owning a piece of history like that? It's not just an artifact, it's a connection to one of humanity's greatest achievements. You could wear it around the house, pretend you're walking on the moon. It would be the ultimate conversation starter at any gathering. Just make sure you don't try to take it for a spin in space. It's a relic, not a functional piece of equipment. I don't think it's covered by warranty anymore, but the value it holds is beyond any warranty or insurance. All right, this next one is for all you real estate moguls out there. Have you ever dreamed of owning your own town? Well, someone actually bought one at auction. And not just any town. We're talking about a ghost town. This particular ghost town, called Cerro Gordo, is located in California and was once a booming silver mining town, but when the silver ran out, so did the people. And it's been abandoned ever since. But that didn't stop someone from buying it for $1.4 million. I guess they're hoping to turn it into a tourist attraction or something. Or maybe they're just really into the whole post-apocalyptic vibe. Okay, this next one is just plain weird. We're talking about a jar supposedly containing a celebrity's breath. Yes, you heard that right, breath. Now, I'm not going to name any names, but let's just say it was a very famous pop star. And apparently, someone thought it would be a good idea to capture their breath in a jar and sell it at auction, and you won't believe how much it went for. $5,300. That's right, over $5,000 for a jar of air that may or may not have been exhaled by a celebrity. I just hope they didn't spend all their money in one breath. And finally, we come to our last item, and it's truly out of this world. We're talking about a piece of the moon. Yes, you heard that right, a moon rock. This particular moon rock was brought back to Earth by the Apollo 11 mission and is considered to be one of the most valuable pieces of space memorabilia in existence. So it's no surprise that when it went up for auction, it fetched an astronomical price. We're talking $855,000. That's right, over 800 grand for a rock. But hey, it's not every day you can own a piece of the moon. Maybe they'll use it to build a lunar patio or something. Well, there you have it, folks. The most bizarre auction items ever sold. From Elvis hair to a piece of the moon, we've seen it all. Can you believe people actually bought these items? I mean, some of them are just plain strange, but hey, to each their own, right? Which one did you find the most bizarre? Let us know in the comments below. Was it Napoleon's, or maybe the jar of celebrity breath? Personally, I think the haunted mirror is the creepiest. I wouldn't want to be alone in a room with that thing. Anyway, that's all the time we have for today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. And until next time, happy bidding.